You did something impressive. And when someone noticed, you immediately minimized it. It wasn't a big deal. Anyone could have done it. Why do you shrink your own wins before anyone else can? There's a reason, and it's not humility. You work hard, you improve, you grow, but when the moment comes to own it, your voice softens. You redirect attention, you joke, you change the subject. Later, alone, you replay it. Why couldn't you just say thank you? This pattern quietly shapes your identity. You become the low-maintenance one, the easygoing one, the one who doesn't need praise. In conversations, you shrink your language. In meetings, you understate your contribution. In relationships, you make yourself smaller than you are. And slowly, your brain starts believing the smaller version. Psychology calls this self-verification theory. Your mind prefers consistency over accuracy. It would rather protect a stable identity than accept new evidence. So if you've internalized, "I'm not that impressive," your brain will filter out proof that you are. But this isn't random, it's protective. The real question is, what is it protecting you from? You are not insecure in the way you think, you're adaptive. At some point, being too much wasn't safe. Maybe success made others uncomfortable. Maybe confidence was labeled arrogance. Maybe attention brought criticism instead of support. Your nervous system learned something simple: visibility equals risk. So you adjusted, you softened your edges, you dimmed your light, you survived. This isn't weakness, it's conditioning. But conditioning doesn't disappear just because your environment changes, and that's where the deeper mechanism lives. Your brain runs on prediction, specifically the predictive processing model. It constantly asks, what usually happens next? If in the past, achievement led to envy, rejection, or pressure, your brain stored that pattern. Achievement, social tension, emotional discomfort. So now, when praise appears, your amygdala lights up slightly. Not panic, just discomfort, like a smoke alarm that goes off even when you're only making toast. Downplaying becomes the fastest way to turn the alarm off, minimize the achievement, reduce the spotlight, lower the perceived threat. There's also dopamine involved. Normally, achievement triggers a reward response, but if your identity conflicts with the success, the prefrontal cortex suppresses that reward. It's like pressing the brakes while your brain tries to accelerate. The result, you feel strangely flat after something objectively good. Your system is choosing safety over expansion, and it feels automatic. But automatic doesn't mean permanent. Not confidence hacks, not forced self-praise, just small rewiring steps. 1. Practice neutral acknowledgement. What to do? When complimented, respond with one sentence: "I worked hard on that." Why it works? You're creating new prediction data for your brain. Achievement, no rejection, safe. Example: in a meeting, instead of joking it off, you hold eye contact and say the sentence once, then stop. Let the discomfort pass without fixing it. 2. Track factual evidence, not feelings. What to do? Keep a simple list of completed wins, no adjectives. Why it works? The brain updates identity through repeated exposure to data. This reduces cognitive dissonance between "I'm average" and reality. You write "finished project early," not "did amazing," just facts. Over time, the narrative shifts. 3. Notice the body response. What to do? When you downplay something, pause and scan your body. Why it works? Interoception, awareness of internal signals, calms the amygdala. Labeling sensations reduces threat intensity. Example: you feel tightness in your chest. You mentally say, "This is discomfort, not danger." That distinction matters. 4. Expand visibility in controlled doses. What to do? Share one achievement intentionally each week. Why it works. Gradual exposure retrains the nervous system. Small doses of visibility build tolerance. Example, you post a finished project online without self-deprecating language. Then you don't edit it afterward. You let yourself be seen, just a little more than before. Think of your identity like a thermostat. It tries to keep you at a familiar temperature. If you rise above it too quickly, it cools you down. Downplaying is that cooling system, but thermostats can be reset, not by smashing them, but by slowly adjusting the baseline. Achievement is not the threat, inconsistency is, and the more evidence you allow yourself to hold, the safer growth feels. You don't shrink because you're incapable. You shrink because your system once needed you to, but you're not there anymore. You can let the compliment land. You can let the work count. You can let yourself exist at full size. Not loudly, not arrogantly, just accurately. And maybe next time someone says, "That was impressive," you'll simply breathe and allow it to be true.